the idea here is to really make it everyone's job. It shouldn't just be up to the recruiter to be sourcing leads and sourcing referrals. And it should be part of everyone's actual individual OKRs if you can. And that's a way to sort of then put into the performance plan, how have you been contributing to our team's growth and our team's recruiting? So for example, one thing you could do is actually require each engineer to spend X amount of hours on recruiting, or have some target for your executives, which I really like. Talking to a friend of mine's company, and they have every executive must talk to 2 potential candidates each week, even if they're not hiring. And this kind of concept of building your future talent pipelines is also something that we're trying to sort of evangelize and think about. You shouldn't just be doing just-in-time recruiting if you can avoid it, where you're constantly hiring for roles that were due yesterday. But instead, look 6, 12, 18 months out and work within your company to look at who you're going to be hiring, and then starting to nurture and warm up those leads. So imagine this is, the parallels on the marketing sales side. You don't just go and straight out the door try and sell a company to buy your product. You can instead kind of warm them up to the idea by having some initial conversations, showing them that kind of line of growth. You'd have a conversation now, conversation in 3-6 months. Hey, look how much we've grown. It's really exciting. Look at the momentum, look at the traction, get them excited. Then they'll be starting to think about it, warm up to the idea, have another conversation in 3-6 months after that. And by the time that you actually give them the pitch, of the sort of formal pitch to come on board, they're already much more kind of warmed up to the idea, and you're already going to got some of that mind share. So that's one idea. So gamifying referrals. I think this can go, really, it's depending on the culture of your company. If it is a very high performance culture where everyone likes to kind of be very competitive, then having a leaderboard or something like that could be interesting. Otherwise, I think one of the biggest things is just recognition. At an all hands, you should be making it a point to sort of say, every time a successful referral is made, who made it, maybe give them, sort of a small either bonus cash incentive, or, oftentimes it's something a bit more fun. Using Goody is a website that you can send gifts and different things. People can choose, to get an Ember mug on their desk that helps to keep your coffee hot, or something they can just sort of like tactically they can kind of see. Otherwise, just gift cards are always great as well. But that shouldn't be the main driver of referral. And that's what we sort of often see is this huge focus on trying to optimize for that cash bounty, when in fact, it's the intrinsic motivators that are going to be driving people towards making those referrals. It's the acknowledgement and recognition from leadership. It's the feeling of wanting to work with your friends, and the fact that they like the company so much, they want to be inviting people to join them. So that's, what we should be sort of trying to optimize for, versus trying to optimize for how much exact cash bonus to be providing for, each potential referral, and whether they're an engineer or not. Typical ranges, I would say, go from 1 to 5,000, depending on how senior they are and whether they're technical or not. But it's really up to the discretion of the founders and you as a recruiting team to come up with that. And yeah, happy to share. Like, I think there's another deck from Drafted that kind of goes into more of the mechanics of this. They've got like hundreds of different referral programs. I'll share that with you after. One other, I guess I'll sort of talk about this more. This create the culture of recruiting, and also sort of during new hire orientation. This is a great time to be adding that employees network to your overall company graph.